Nitrocell e-commerce presents Nsc Sync configurations. Nsc Sync is the heart of your integrated web store. Sync performs the uploading of item data, store details, and customer data, just to name a few. At the same time, it's also downloading your web orders and all of the pertinent details they require, so that you may process the transaction as if the customer were standing in front of you. The basic setup, which should have already been made during installation, requires two sets of information and credentials. The first set will allow Sync to access your physical store's database. It includes the server name, username, password, and database name. The second set will allow Sync to access the web store. It includes your web store or staging URL, username, and password. Together, these two configurations allow the flow of information between your database and the web store. Although the data flow is not in real time, it may be set to a minimum of 1-hour uploads to reduce the impact on your computer's performance, while web orders are downloaded every 15 minutes by default. Now let's hit Configuration. Continuing our configurations, we'll proceed down the left column. Preferences. To ensure that Sync continues to run after a shutdown or restart, select Start Nsc Sync with Windows. Images. Nsc Sync will upload the images you've assigned to your products. This panel allows the creation and modification of image profiles. Through Image Profiles, Sync will take the one large image you've assigned to the item and downsize it for display in various locations across your web store. Here we can see 3 profiles. The smallest is named Thumbnail, and it is used on product listing pages, where items are displayed alongside each other. Default is displayed on the item's product page, while Large enables your customers to view it at maximum size. Please note that Sync will not enlarge images. If the image you've supplied is less than what the profile defines, it will only display the original image in its native size. Follow-up emails. Another function of Sync is to send follow-up emails for each step of the order fulfillment process. To receive carbon copies of these emails, simply add your email addresses here. Synchronization Settings. Earlier we discussed the frequency in which Sync pushes and pulls data. This is controlled by the timed synchronization settings. First, tick the Synchronize and Download Web Orders Every tick box. Then, based on your available speed, memory resources, and database size, select your desired frequency for uploading the changes you've made to your database. Please note, Sync utilizes a cache memory, which remembers what was uploaded last, so that the next synchronization only uploads the most recent changes made in your database. Web Order Alert. There are 2 alert options, so you're made aware of new downloaded web orders. 1 visual and 1 audio. Select your preference. Inventory Control. Naturally, when a web order has been processed through your POS, the inventory purchased in that transaction will be removed from your database. However, to subtract the inventory immediately upon receiving the web order, you may also do so by selecting Include Unprocessed Web Order Items in Quantity Committed. This will automatically reconcile with your inventory when the order is eventually processed. Advanced. As mentioned earlier, like a website browser, Sync utilizes a memory cache to optimize performance. A cache is a record of what's previously been synchronized. By using cache memory, Sync isn't required to re-upload all of your data, but rather only the changes made since the last synchronization. Like a web browser, this cache memory can sometimes become inaccurate and will not sync the changes you've made to your database. If you are experiencing this, select Purge Cache and OK. This will open a dialog box, including the individual areas or tables contained in your database. Each table you select will be purged of its memory cache and perform a full and complete upload during the next sync. Customers. By default, your customer's account number and password will be saved to their appropriate and available locations in your database. Please note that if in your Web Store Manager configurations you've disabled usernames, the customer's email address will become their account number, and be stored in your database in the account number field. If you choose to use an alternative field to store usernames, account numbers will be automatically generated per your existing customer account numbering configuration in your POS. However, we strongly recommend storing usernames in the account number field of your database. Field mapping. Although this area is the heart of Sync, we do not recommend making any changes without assistance from NitroCell support. Field mapping determines where in your database information is extracted and where it is sent up to be displayed or used at the web store. By expanding the item table, we can see the individual mappings related to items. The names listed are actual parts of the NitroCell coding language, NitroScript. For example, in NitroScript, if you wish to use or display an item's name on a page, you would write an expression similar to product_name. This is what's referred to as the remote field. Because to Sync, it is away from the local database and therefore remote. The field source is where in your database that information comes from. Here we see it's in the table titled item.description. To review, in this case, the information stored in the database under item.description will be synced to the web store and given a NitroScript code of product_name. Web orders. Order delivery. By default, web orders download into your database. Deselect this option if you do not want to download web orders. By enabling Nsc mail integration, Sync will send follow-up emails during the various stages of processing your web orders. Select this option to take advantage of this feature. Next, web order data will accumulate in your database. You can purge this data at regular intervals by selecting this option. Select OK to save your configurations. This completes the Sync configuration tutorial. For further assistance, see the NitroCell Partner Portal or contact support through the ticket system. Thank you for watching NitroCell Integrated E-Commerce, helping you succeed online.